So today's the day. Today they make it official. Donald Trump will be your next president of these United States.
Are you sure?
I'm 99.99999%
So was Michael
sure.
Jordan when he said he wasn't ever going to come back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he came
so
back.
you think there's going to be a coup d'etat?
I think Michael Jordan's the next president of the United States.
Some rogue electors?
Most definitely, to some extent, to a certain degree.
Well, let's speak with an expert, retired lawyer, electoral college expert, and author of several books, including Enlightened Democracy, The Case for the Electoral College. Tara Ross joins us on our Turnkey.pro answer line. Good morning, Tara. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. So 538 electors are going to their state capitals today in their various states. And do you expect any surprises?
Well, probably not. This has been an unusual election year, so never say never, right? But historically, electors tend to vote as they are expected to vote, and this has to do with the way that they are selected. These are party loyalists, people who have pounded the pavement, written checks, given their time to the party. And so when it comes time to vote for the party, they generally want to do what they have been asked to do.
So how do you become an elector?
So each political
besides
party
giving money.
Each political party in the state is asked to provide a slate of electors to back up the candidates. So I'm from Texas. We had literally had 38 Republicans ready to represent us today since they were elected on November 8th. There was a different slate of 38 Democrats that could have been elected if Hillary Clinton had won the state last month. So these are different groups of people. I just think it's important for people to know that. It varies by state. In Texas, the electors were selected at the state party convention. Electors are often elected by their fellow delegates. And so, the people who work hard for the party are just the people who are popular at election time.
Now, Tara, you're a retired lawyer, and I am a lawyer, but not really practicing right now. So I want to throw a legal term out at you and impress Amy, even though I don't know how to pronounce it. Sui generis. Okay. Which
I had that for dinner last night.
Sure, it was delicious, but it basically means unique.
Sauce? Yeah.
It means unique, and you were suggesting before that you don't expect any large amount of delegates to not vote the way the popular vote occurred in their respective states. But might this case be a little bit different because you got the popular vote at 2.8 million, you got the Russians hacking, maybe you get 15 or 20 to vote against Donald Trump. What do you think?
So, you guys are cutting out terribly, and I can't hear the whole question.
I'm sorry.
So that's gonna undermine me a bit here.
Okay. So
Go
just
ahead, do it anyway.
be more succinct with your question, Bruce.
I'm sorry.
Repeat your question.
Is there a shot that because this is a unique situation, so maybe you won't have the tip what you have described in your history of
right.
this, that it might be different.
Yeah. Look, I tend to trace all of our problems this year back to the primaries, which were horribly divisive, and basically everything that the Electoral College is not. Everything. When I talk about the Electoral College before this year, I say things like it encourages coalition building and people focusing on their similarities and not on their differences. And this is why the Electoral College works, because you have to build coalitions that crosses states, crosses different regions, different kinds of voters. And I still think that's true of the Electoral College. It's just that we started off this year with a primary process that was the complete opposite. And the Republican primaries in particular were so divisive and awful. I'm not talking about who you supported. I'm talking about the fact that there were 17 candidates, and nobody worked together. Nobody cared. Everybody was just mad at the other 16.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, there was never any coalition building at all. There was one candidate that just kind of got a better plurality, not a majority, but just a better plurality than other people. And if it had been any of the other candidates, it would have been the same. People were just trying to get the best plurality, and they didn't care about working together. And so why are we so surprised when we have this divisive process? And the Democrats didn't do too much better with their selection process, and so we ended up with two polls say generally unpopular candidates. So why are we surprised when we find ourselves in this situation right now?
But have you ever seen it this ugly? I just want you to listen to this real quick. Michael Bannerian, He is a Michigan elector, and what he's gone through and the harassment he's received is unprecedented.
I've had death wishes, people just saying, I hope you die, do society a favor, throw yourself in front of a bus. And just recently I was reading a blog about me, and unfortunately these people not only called for the burning of myself, but my family, which is completely out of line.
And besides that, Tara, he also receives about 2,000 letters a week begging him not to vote for Donald Trump, to vote for anybody else. Tom Hanks, one of the letters said, John Kasich, anybody but Donald Trump.
We lost her.
Tara, can you hear us? What do you mean we lost her?
Yeah, because you should have called her Tara.
Well, no, I didn't. Oh, no, you're
there
here.
we go.
You guys cut out again. This is terrible. I heard the beginning of the Michigan elector. I mean,
So go
Have you
ahead.
ever-
this is similar to what happened in 2000 with George Bush and his electors. And look, it's not good. But I kind of think that it would be very helpful if the state legislatures would intervene here. Look, at the end of the day, I do think that there is an argument for electors sometimes needing to do something different than what's expected. For instance, if like a candidate had a debilitating stroke, okay, or like there's some kind of health crisis, or you can imagine scenarios where maybe you would want the electors to change their minds and do something else. But I think it would be better at this point if the state legislatures intervened and redirected their electors in those kinds of scenarios. And if that's the kind of expectation that we had as a society, instead of harassing electors, call your state legislator and say, hey, I want you guys to hold a special session on this, and let's talk about whether new circumstances justify our electors doing something different.
Well,
that
what
would be
if-
a healthy way to discuss this.
What if, according to Keith Olbermann types, the Donald Trump conspired with the Soviets, or whatever they are called right now, and worked to rig the election? Then would the electors be justified in voting against him? We lost her. We lost her.
I'm so sorry. I really can't hear. Maybe you guys should email me the questions.
Oh,
Right.
that's good.
Maybe we
But
should
then
have a
our
UN
emails
interpreter.
might get hacked, and then
It was a dumb question anyway. It was a
No
stupid hypothetical.
question's dumb.
Oh, yeah.
I had an
That's-
interview like this a couple of weeks ago, and I
Yeah.
told them it was like listening to like a Star Wars like, voice coming at me.
What did you think of the latest Star Wars movie?
Oh
I
my
hear
gosh,
the ending is
Bruce.
terrific.
Bruce,
Yeah.
she didn't see this, Sarah. All right, so do you think the Electoral College is it's not going to go anywhere in the future? I mean, people are going to try to change the Constitution to make it a popular vote and get rid of the Electoral College.
She didn't hear
And-
that one either.
And wait
Okay.
for it, Tara.
No. she
Oh.
didn't. I'll give her answer for her
Okay.
because I'm a surrogate. I believe she favors the Electoral College.
I
was
think
just
so,
informed.
too,
Yeah, she
compared
favors the
to our-
Electoral College because it helps shape the character of majorities by helping to generate those that are neither geographically nor ideologically narrow and that depict more than the popular vote does national decisiveness.
Are you reading from her column that was in
No, I was reading George Will's
The-
column yesterday.
New
Yeah.
York Daily News? No, you're quoting George Will.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Tara. Sorry we are a communication mix-up.
We didn't have a terra firma connection with her.
Oh, hey.
Oh, boy.
Connect with Dan